Welcome back, everyone, for a rather random live stream on the Tuesday lunchtime, Tuesday afternoon. Welcome to you beautiful, wonderful patriots right across the world. Thank you for joining me in what I believe is going to be an exciting and very revealing live stream this afternoon. And later on in the show, I'm going to be throwing open the show for you to join me and have your say and your reaction not only to the story that I'm going to break to you this morning or that we're going to talk about this morning, but I'm also going to throw open the show for you to join me and vent your frustration over the mainstream media's gaslighting and reporting after Saturday the 13th, which was an absolutely amazing day, a huge success, and with very little trouble, despite the focus of the mainstream media. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. At the end of this show, I'm going to switch this video to a video on the regular section. So the live stream will be instantly removed and then it will go over to the regular videos to give it a wider audience. I hope you're all sitting comfortably. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, look at that. Look. Good morning from East Grinstead, your old town and your old hairdresser. How you doing, mate? Good to see you there. Thank you very much. Another scandal leaked. Let's talk about one quick thing before we get into the main topic of the show. Maria Caulfield, former Conservative MP, has defected to Reform this morning. Maria Caulfield, former Conservative MP. Well, Maria is someone that I actually have a little bit of experience with because Maria Caulfield used to be my MP. And if you doubt what I say to you about Reform turning into the Tory party Mark II, and I won't go on about that one too much today, I don't want to bore you with that, but let me just give you a little bit of information on Maria. Now, a couple of years back, before I even started talking about politics, Maria was aware that my channel was basically and mostly about watch crime and crime in London and my attempts to slow down the rate of violent crime that was related to watch robbery and watch theft and people being mugged and harmed and murdered in the streets of London. Well, I approached Maria. She had an office right next to a very good friend of mine's business in New Haven. I approached Maria on 2 occasions and asked if she would be very kind enough just to give me a short interview or some quotes or just a little bit of help in my attempt to try and save people's lives in central London and avoid being the victim of violent street robbery. Well, Maria Caulfield didn't want to know. She wasn't interested. She refused to speak to me. And she certainly wasn't going to comment or give us an interview on violent street crime. And then later, when I started talking about politics, I made her aware of my channel again and told her what I was talking about. And that time she never even bothered to reply. So that is the type of quality, caring, community-driven former Tory MPs that Reform are proudly getting to defect to their party. No thank you, Nigel. Maria, you can keep her. That's my opinion on that one. Let's have a quick look into the chat before we get into the main event. Now, don't forget, guys, evening from Manchester, good afternoon all. Hello, Philippines. Well done. Thank you for coming in. Let's have a look. Stephen, the weekend was a tremendous success. Shame the media and government are trying to turn it into a right-wing mobile march. It wasn't, and no matter what they say, the world knows different. I'll tell you what's very interesting about that is that half the mainstream media are trying to paint it as some far-right march. The other half, who perhaps feel that now is the time to, maybe just start opening their eyes and having a little listen to what people are saying. Well, they are saying that this now wasn't a Tommy Robinson march. This was just ordinary concerned citizens gathering and Tommy Robinson just happened to organise it. Bullshit. And that's not the first time we're going to call bullshit out this afternoon. Excuse my language. So let's get into the main topic of conversation. The left wing, lying, gaslighting mainstream media have gone into overdrive since Saturday's Unite the Kingdom rally in London. If you look on X, on YouTube, TikTok and the like, well, it is cram-packed with examples. And I mean cram-packed. I'm sick to the hind teeth of watching them, of how the media have blatantly, once again and yet again, lied to us all from the very moment the first foot stepped forward on the rally, and they are still hard at it today. And I could have picked any one of 1,000 or even 1,000,000 lies and exaggerations to show you today. But of all the outrageous examples I could have shown you, I've actually chosen one that might surprise you, which I'm going to play to you in a moment. And it's only 24 seconds long. But I firmly believe that if you really think about this clip, if you really study it a little bit more deeply, and if you can really understand what is going on here, the psychological effect that they are trying to have on people, I believe it perfectly demonstrates the lies and the sinister cunning that we are being fed. What you are going to watch is gaslighting at its very finest and in a very professional and clever fashion. Brainwashing designed to do one thing and one thing only: to prove to its viewers that they are the good guys and we are all bad. This 24-second clip is so clever, it deserves an Oscar. And make no mistake, this wasn't random. This was very, very carefully thought out and designed. So let me set the scene for you before we play this clip. Good Morning Britain's most attractive white female presenter sympathetically speaks to another attractive woman of colour in a sympathetic, you poor soul tone of voice. Who wouldn't fall for it, eh? 24 seconds of lies and political gaslighting at its very best. Let's watch it together, and then I'm going to break it down and tell you why this is so deliberate, so dangerous, and absolutely so bloody insulting. Let's get the clip up.
Ranveer, you were on your way into London, weren't you, on Saturday?
Yes.
And you met somebody who was going on that march.
Yes, it was really interesting. I changed my plans, which actually made me sad, because I think...
She changed her plans. So she was going into London and she changed her plans. Well, first of all, I don't believe you. I don't believe that you changed your plans. I call out bullshit. You never changed your plans. You are lying. But let's talk about what it means for people that genuinely have changed their plans and how the British people have had to change their plans because of people like you. British people have had to change their plans and move out of the country because they don't want to live among people with a prehistoric value and culture. They've had to change their plans and move out altogether, people like me. Our youngsters have had to change their goddamn plans because there's no chance of them ever being able to buy a home. People like me have changed their plans because it's no longer safe to live in my country, where people like her lie to the point where I am no longer safe and my pale white children are abused in the street for being racist. How about the victims, the mums, the dads and the families of the child rape gang victims who've all had their plans changed because their lives have been absolutely ruined and forever? And we could talk about the plans of people like Lucy Conley, or of Peter Lynch, God rest his soul. I think they've had their plans changed too. How about the plans of women and children who can no longer walk to school, or who have planned to take their dogs out for a walk without fear of being attacked or worse? Or the plans of our forefathers who thought they were dying for their country, their people, for free speech and for their flag? Well, their plans have properly been screwed up, haven't they? Don't talk to me about your poxy, fake, phony Saturday morning plans, you absolute cretin. You've got some front coming onto our TV screens to tell us that you're sad and that your plans have been changed. Let's carry on.
I think, well, I should be allowed to go into London and feel safe. You know, I live here, this is my place. But I didn't. I didn't take my son in, you know.
Yes, we should all be able to feel safe about travelling into London. I agree with that. But how many people now of all races, creeds and colours, especially the indigenous British, have felt so unsafe in London that they feel they've had to move out and that won't travel back into London anymore? But let's carry on. Remember, this is only 24 seconds long. In fact, I'll tell you what, I think we'll start right from the very beginning again. Let's go.
Our Ranveer, you were on your way into London, weren't you, on Saturday?
Yes.
And you met somebody who was going on that march.
Yes, it was really interesting. I changed my plans, which actually made me sad, because I think, well, I should be allowed to go into London and feel safe. You know, I live here, this is my place. But I didn't. I didn't take my son in. You know, that made me sad. You know, the fact that you think, oh, it's not safe for my little brown boy to be in London is a sad thing.
It's not safe for her little brown boy to be in London. It's a sad thing. Well, it's sad that people's little white boys and girls are afraid to go to pop concerts in case they're blown up. It's sad that little white girls have been targeted and abused across the nation. And it's sad that 3 little angels were massacred by a little brown boy in Southport. You vile, disgusting woman, how dare you deliberately bring race and colour into this, quite deliberately, to give the impression that this rally was about colour when it very, very clearly was not. It was about culture and the future of our nation. This is the deal. People like this are deliberately turning this into a race issue. Black versus white, brown versus pale. That is absolutely wrong. It is dangerous and it is vile. If she'd have even bothered to look, she claims to have had a conversation. Look at the media. Look what the media had to say about this. Ranveer Singh shares heartbreaking reasons she didn't feel safe during Tommy Robinson rally. Well, if she'd have gone along and had a look, she'd have found a lot of people that are a lot darker than her at that rally and who were perfectly safe, were made to feel welcome and played a major role within the day. If she didn't feel safe, which I don't believe her, it's complete and utter lies. If she genuinely didn't feel safe, I'd feel very sad. I would have said to her, do you know what? You accompany anyone into that rally and you will be made welcome. Ranveer Singh's poignant chat with a protester after avoiding London due to far-right march. Poor Ranveer. Ranveer, I know hundreds of ordinary British people that avoid going to London every single goddamn day of the week because of your politics and the bullshit that you spout, the lies that you perpetuate, and the myth that the mainstream media is creating. Now, I usually end something like this by saying, oh, this person should hang their head in shame. That's the usual response, isn't it? But I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to end this particular part of the show by saying that because of people like Ranveer Singh and Susanna Reid, my children are no longer safe in the UK. Our grandchildren are going to grow up in a society that will deem them as being worthless, racist, and just second-class citizens. Like I said a minute ago, Ranveer Singh, This was never, ever about colour, and you bloody know it. What you're deliberately doing here is making it about colour because people like you are the real racists. And that's my opinion on that one. Absolutely disgusted, absolutely shocked. And I think that that 24-second clip epitomises what is going wrong with the mainstream media right now, right across the networks. Now, I'm going to throw open the show today. I've put the link in the chat right now. If you want to come on and join us today, please feel free to do so. If you want to come on and disagree with me, that is absolutely fine as well, as long as you remain polite and you refrain from using excessive bad language, you will be welcome. Anokti UK, she doesn't represent me. I'm British born, Indian ancestry. Look, I absolutely applaud you for that. As I said, this is never, ever, ever been about colour or race. Never. And I can tell you now that watching the screens over the weekend, watching the event on Saturday, even I was surprised and impressed by the amount of people of colour from different backgrounds that were at that rally, just ordinary, lovely people who wanted to come along, support the country, support our children, support free speech, support everything that is good about our nation. And you don't have to be white to believe in those things. You don't have to be white to wrap yourself around the Union flag or the St George's flag or the Scottish flag, the Welsh flag, the Northern Irish flag, etc. You don't have to be any of those things. Let me welcome Richard to the show. Richard, good afternoon, my friend.
How you doing, Paul?
I'm very well, mate. How are you? What's on your mind, buddy?
All I want to say is this the media and everything else that's going on. You are now the media. You are now the media.
Yeah, I think the boys on the channels now, you know, the Maya Tuesdays, the Dan Wootons, you know, we are bringing the people the news, and the numbers prove that, Richard, right?
Well, it proved that the other day. Was it Sky News? Over 1,000 people watching on X. Over 1 million on Dan Wooten.
Yeah.
Over is it 2 million on Tommy
Yeah,
Robinson?
yeah. It's been millions, mate, millions. I mean, the figures are incomparable. So, they're clinging on by their fingernails, aren't they? The mainstream media, but they will not change their narrative.
No, of course they're not. They're going to, but this is what I'm saying. But when you're looking around now, talking to people, everyone, what they're doing, it's playing in to the mainstream media is playing in to people like you, Tusi, Tommy. It's playing into your hands now because everyone can see what's going on. This is what I mean. No. You know what? You don't even have to get mad about it anymore. I mean, I used to get absolutely mad. I could smash the telly in. Honestly, I'm telling you, I'd see him on the telly and I'd smash. And now, the clowns, you can see it, Paul. It's funny. You know what? You can actually laugh now. You can laugh at what's going on. It's funny. Everyone can see what's going on. They are digging themselves a massive hole.
They absolutely are, Richard. Did you feel a sense of pride after Saturday? Did you feel a sense?
Oh my God, sense of pride. I mean, what was making me laugh? 110,000. There must have been. Let's just be realistic. Let's just say 1 million. There was over 1 million, guaranteed over 1 million, and everyone's saying 110. BBC 100,000, and you're just looking at it and thinking,
how can you trust these people anymore?
But this is the problem. This is what I'm saying. They are digging themselves a grave. They're digging themselves a hole. Digging themselves a massive hole. I just want to say anyway, just before we go, because I've never done anything like this before, but thank you from the bottom of my heart what you do, Paul.
Oh, bless you, mate. And thank you for coming on. I mean, look, listen, there's no need to thank me. We do this for our children, right?
Well, I've got 2 grandkids now, and this is what I'm doing it for. We've got to. We're going to lose our country. We've got to do it. It's not racism. It's not Nazi. It's not nothing else. Of
course it's not. Absolutely. Richard, thank you so much for coming on, brother. I really appreciate it. You have a lovely week and look after yourself and those grandchildren. Cheers. That's Kevin we got up next. Let me just remove Richard there. We got Kevin and then we got someone called Migrants Are Welcome. So we're going to have an alternative view. Kevin, welcome to the show, mate. I can't see you very well. Your screen's a bit misty, but
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate. How you doing? Can you hear me? Kevin, I can't hear you, mate, so I'm going to remove you. If you can get your audio fixed, that will be absolutely wonderful. I'll put the link into the show once again. Now, we've got someone who's calling themselves Migrants Are Welcome. They're not showing their face, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the complete opposite to what the left do. I'm going to give them the chance to come on and have their say. Let's have a listen to what they got to say. Good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm a bit older, so I apologise about my voice. I just don't like the racism that I've seen from you in your videos.
What racism is that? Can you give us some examples?
Yeah, it's just, I don't want to be rude, it's just, when I was your age, I used to just appreciate anyone that would be different. I don't like you single people out because they come on a boat. You're racist. You're in Spain. You're from England. What are you doing?
I'm very sorry. I can barely hear you.
You're in Spain. You're racist to these people.
In what? Well, explain to me. Tell me how we're being racist to them.
Well, I don't want to be rude, but you've moved to Spain from the UK. Is that correct? So how the bloody hell can you complain about people coming to England?
Say that again, sorry.
How can you move to Spain from England and yet you complain about foreigners when you're not even in England?
Okay, so let me explain that one to you very easily. Is that okay, so you're going to listen?
Yes.
Okay, so I moved to Spain legally. I got a correct visa. Since I've been here, in the 5 months I've been here, I've paid over 100,000 euros in tax whilst I've been here in Spain. I'm trying to learn the language. I respect the Spanish laws. I respect their flag. I respect their religion. I respect their people. I respect their culture, and I respect their way of life. I am not in Spain to wave a Union Jack or to tell the Spanish people that they need to change their ways to suit me. It's not about colour, it's about culture. So when you say that I am here in Spain and I'm a hypocrite because I'm now an immigrant, I am a legal migrant or immigrant, whichever you want to call it. I've come here with the Spanish people's permission. Whilst I've come here, I have private health insurance. I don't take anything from their own National Health Service. I am what I would call the perfect immigrant, and people are welcome into the UK, as far as I'm concerned, regardless of their race, creed, colour or religion, as long as they respect our people, our flag, our way of life and our culture. That is not racism, my friend. That is common sense and decency.
So what you're hoping to gain? What you're hoping to gain from these videos? What's the point?
What's the point? The point is trying to save our
country. Donations. It's just to get donations.
Okay. So okay, so it's actually about the money now and not about the country. Is that what it is?
Clearly, because you're not making a difference.
It's clearly about the money, is it?
I don't want to be rude, but everything I see about
listen. As long as you don't swear and become abusive, you can be as rude as you like. I can take it. You're not going to offend me.
I'm not that way.
But let me tell you something. But no, what you are though, you're displaying ignorance in the respect that if you'd watched me long enough, you would know that I've been in business for over 40 years. I don't need to make any money from YouTube. In fact, the money that I make from YouTube is often reinvested into the channel, or it goes to places that I just don't say. I don't come on here and boast about what I do with the money that I earn from YouTube, but it's nobody's business. This is now my job. But here's the other thing, and I've said this 1,000 times, and I don't really want to have to explain it again, but I will just for you. When I chose politics, well, you'll have to listen a bit more carefully. When I chose politics over earning the real money, I lost instantly £7,000 a month in income. I knew that would happen. So don't you dare sit there and tell me that I do this for money. I do this for the love of my country, for the love of our people, and most importantly, for the future of our children, our grandchildren. And if you've got grandchildren, I'm doing it for them as much as I'm doing it for my own.
Well, I appreciate that, but I just don't see how it's going to make a difference.
Well, if we all sat back, what's the old saying? All it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. And I refuse to go to my grave knowing that I did nothing. If my role turns out to be of irrelevance, if what I've done turns out to have done nothing at all, then that's how I'll go to my grave. But at least I goddamn tried. And let me tell you something, my friend. And you're more than welcome on this show. I thank you for coming on and having the bravery for saying what you've done. I really do appreciate that. But I'm going to tell you something now that you may not understand about me. Despite what you've said, I goddamn care about you. I goddamn care about our people. I goddamn care about all people of all races, of all religions and of all colours. I want us to unite in the United Kingdom. I want us to be a happy people that get on well together, that can go down the pub on a Friday night together and all get on. I do not see colour. I do not see religion. But what I do see is the abuse of our children, the rape of our children. I see the abuse of our flag, the abuse of our people, and the abuse of our hospitality. And that I will not stand for.
Well, regardless of our indifferences, I appreciate you having me on the show.
You're more than welcome.
I'll probably be back.
You're more than welcome,
okay.
my
I
friend.
appreciate it.
You have a very good day, and please think about what I've said, because this is not about racism. And anyone that tries to convince you that we are racist, well, then you need to look at my phone book of friends, because there are more. There's probably more people from a non-British background in my phone than there is from an indigenous British background. That's how racist I am. And I'll tell you this now, when that woman said that she feared for the safety of her little brown boy walking through that march on a Saturday, let me tell you something from the bottom of my heart. If I saw some racist bastard trying to attack a little child because he had a darker skin, I will be the first one in there to protect that child, because we believe in protecting our children at all costs and of all colours. God bless you. I hope you have a think about what we said, and thank you for coming on. All the best to you, mate. Cop Watcher is next. Good afternoon, Cop Watcher.
Hello, Paul. Long time no see.
Good afternoon.
We actually missed you at in London.
Unfortunately, I wasn't there this Saturday. I was stuck in Spain for reasons that most people know about.
Yeah, and also I've joined Advanced UK.
Well done. That's a good move.
So hopefully they will do this country proud more than what we've got at the moment. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, I think this. I don't think it would take a lot to do better than what we've got in at the moment, would it? It really wouldn't. But there you go. What's on your mind, my friend? How did you feel after Saturday?
I actually thought it went really well, apart from the rain. But
yeah,
that's. But I like where the mainstream media said that there was a few hundred thousand people there, but the streets were literally. Alexa, shut up. The streets everywhere took me about an hour to get from Downing Street to Westminster Bridge, just trying to get through the crowd, and then to get back to where my car was by the London Eye, that took me probably about another 45-50 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and you could literally see on the helicopter shots how many people were there.
Yeah.
And
I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest with you, mate. I don't think that the organisers. I mean, Tommy said that they did, but I've got to be honest, and I'm not going against what Tommy said now. I just got the feeling that the numbers actually surprised everyone. I mean, when I sat and watched that crowd with Danny and a few other lads, and as the crowd as the helicopter panned, I just looked at the others and went, Jesus, I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This is just incredible. For the mainstream media to insult the nation's intelligence, I mean, this is precisely what everyone is sick and tired of, isn't it, in many respects? Good or bad, all we need is the truth. We're not children. And we're not stupid.
The problem is the mainstream media do not know how to tell the truth, and nor does our own government.
No.
They've got more respect for these illegal immigrants coming in than they have for any other person. And if I had the money, I wouldn't stay in this country. Even though I love it and I've been here since birth, and I've paid, same as you, I've been self-employed now for, 35 years, and the amount of money I've given the government for nothing, really. We don't get nothing.
What have you got for it? Sodal.
Nothing. I can't get a dentist at the moment. I can't get a hospital appointments, doctors, and like all these hotels, they can literally go in downstairs and they've got a doctor there sitting there waiting for them.
Yeah. And it doesn't, and let's be honest, it doesn't matter what bloody race or colour or religion these people are. You don't, exactly. Well, you say that. To be honest with you, I don't believe that people that come into the country illegally should be equal. I feel that they should go to the back of the queue.
Well, yeah. But the worst part of it is, I've heard, I don't know how true it is, that the government in, I think it's Hammersmith or somewhere like that, said if anyone puts the Union Jack or the St George's Cross up, they will take them down. But the Palestine ones, they will not touch because they are too frightened of the uproar from their community against them.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, look, I'm going to bring in Kevin in just a moment. Then we've got Jack, and then we've got Craig Lucas. Bear with me, guys. I'll be with you in just a moment. I'll tell you what, Cod Watcher, before I let you go, I'll tell you a little story. I have access to a group of parents in the Brighton region, school parents and school kids. You know, it's like a mums and dads group. And the absolute left-wing bile that I've been seeing in this group, apparently, some of those people are now too afraid to go out in Brighton because of the Union flags in the city. Well, my message to those saddos is this. If our flag makes you feel that frightened, if our flag makes you feel that offended, if you are feeling that threatened, leave. Go somewhere else. Go and live in a place whose flag doesn't offend you. Go and live in a country whose flag does not frighten you. Go and live in a city where you do not feel afraid because of the home nation's flag. Go and live somewhere else. But I tell you what.
I'm actually, go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I'll tell you what. You won't feel very safe in the places where you would end up, you bloody hypocrites.
Yeah. Did you see, there was a video, last thing, there was a video I saw today where Charlie Kirk got killed. They had all the flowers when that 19-year-old was running through it and kicking all the flowers about. Did you see that one yet?
Do you know what? Honestly, it gets to the point where my mind gets saturated with things that I just cannot watch anymore.
Yeah, I thought that was out of order for what they did. It's just all he was doing is speaking the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. Cop Watcher, I'm going to have to let you go, mate, because I've got a fair old queue in the backlog there. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, mate. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Kevin, you're up next. Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing? Very nice to meet you, Paul.
And you, brother. How you doing today?
Really good. I went to the march, obviously, on the Saturday. Took my 10-year-old little boy with me. He's mid-trade.
Yeah, good man. Was he safe? Did he feel frightened?
100%. He was so proud. Yeah. And the compliments he got from people for holding that flag high and walking along, you should have seen his little face.
You're sending a shiver down my spine. I love that. I love that.
It really, really hit my heart. And the only thing I was disappointed for, we couldn't get anywhere near the actual stage. We walked for about 5 miles. Now, and all the police kept doing was like, say, turn left, turn left, turn left. and was all spiraling everywhere. We went across the bridge so many times, but eventually it took us. We had a 12-hour day. We left at 9 in the morning, or 8 in the morning, and got home at 8 at night from Norwich.
Wow.
And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I took him down because I wanted to show him what fighting for freedom really means. It doesn't mean sitting at home and watching it on telly. I mean, I'd drive him probably potty because I'm semi-retired, and I watch everything on YouTube. I watch all you guys, and the amount of information that I get in. Sometimes I have to stop watching for a while because you get, you can kill them. You feel like throttling people.
No, that's what the left do, mate. That's what the left do. So look, Ranveer Singh this morning has said that she was scared to take her little brown boy into London at the weekend. You are precisely the opposite, my friend. You have a mixed race grandson, just 10 years old.
Not grandson. Son.
Oh, sorry, son. Oh, sorry. I thought you said grandson. A 10-year-old son that you took to London. And let me tell you, that is the way forward. We stand together. We love this country together. It's never about the colour of someone's skin. It's about the colour of their heart.
Exactly. One thing that you were just talking about was the woman being scared of the Union Jack or the flag. And I thought to myself, like, why can't people be scared of the Palestinian flag?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it's always one way. If I would have,
we know there's
in London. I grew up in Walthamstow in London. Moved away when I was 22 because my wife wasn't pregnant at the time. We weren't immigrants. We couldn't get a council place. We couldn't get anything. And now it's the highest immigrant borough in the whole of London.
Yeah.
It's we had to move away. I moved down to Ramsgate in Kent from London, and moved around. I'm up in Norwich now because this is where I've been coming since I was born. My nan and granddad moved up here from London. But it just goes to show this isn't a new thing about the immigrants. This has been going on since 1980.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been going on a long time, and people have never ever listened, have they? That's the problem, and that's how we've got to where we are, and that's why until the left are prepared to listen, prepared to debate, because if you don't debate, when two people or two groups have an issue with each other or they have different ideas, if you don't talk and thrash it out peacefully, there's only two options. You either don't come to any successful conclusion or there's violence. And I'm afraid that's at the point where we are now. We're seeing people being assassinated for wanting to peacefully debate. And then the group that have assassinated that person accuse the victims of preaching violence. It is a complete mind screw, to use a polite word. It is completely, it is, the woke virus is real. The woke mind virus is real. Cop Watcher, thank you very much. Lovely channel. Keep up the great work. Asterix, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
The one thing I will say, Paul, a little while ago, I was watching one of your things, and you were saying about you wasn't sure that the people of England, the men of England, are ready for this. There's been people known about what's going to be happening for many years. My mum died 25 years ago, and she warned me all about this. She was a very clever woman. She was a bookkeeper, and she worked within the government, and she see lots of things going on. There's been men preparing for this all their lives because they knew one day this would come. There wasn't any way it was going to be averted. It's been a slow burn. And if you really were, unfortunately, many of the people of our age, we lived in boom when everything was good. And why everything was good, we weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's why we are where we are today. We didn't pay attention.
That is very true.
Pay attention. We've grown up in the best of the best. The 70s and 80s and 90s. What fun we had. It was brilliant. Why was we caring about politics or what the slow burn was happening behind? Yeah,
we was too busy having a good time, weren't we?
Yeah, exactly. And now we actually have to pay for that good time by putting some effort in.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's
Kevin,
where we are now.
I'm going to have to let you go, mate, because I've got other people waiting to come
My
in.
pleasure,
Thank
Paul.
you so much
Thanks for
for
taking
joining
my
us.
call.
If
Thank
anyone
you.
else wants to come on, the link is in the chat there. You're more than welcome. Thank you so much. We got Jack on next. Jack, good afternoon, mate. How you doing?
Hello, you all right?
I'm very well, Jack. Thank you very much. A regular to the show. Let me just say Stephen is a new member. Thank you very much, Stephen. And Asterix, I think it's all time for us to protest peacefully outside all of the TV news media outlets in the UK. Asterix, I think that is a very, very good idea because the media need to start to listen to the people. Jack, what's on your mind, mate?
So, yeah, I wanted to discuss this about the UTK event on Saturday. So, we had a lot of people there, as you know. It was pretty packed, as you could see on camera, like on the bridge, like outside the House of Parliament, outside Westminster Tube Station. That we had some good, loyal people there. Whilst we was having a good demonstration that day and everything was going fine, as you've probably seen, everybody in Labour, Tories, Lib Dems, Greens are all over that. And they're trying to paint it like everybody's out on the streets rioting, even though that's not the case at all. And I take it you've seen what Ed Davey's gone and writ. He's saying he's going to go to Keir Starmer and try and shut off any future demonstrations outside Parliament. I'm like, can't do that. Everybody has a right to do demonstrations. And plus, us on the right, we're not rioting. We're not being violent. The far left are, literally.
Exactly.
Because at one point, I was outside Waterloo Station at one point in London, and there was a Palestinian march coming outside the entrance. And the Palestinian people involved in it were pretty aggressive. So no action's been taken against them, apparently. But if us on the right kick off, we get jail time. I'm like, how is that?
Well, I noticed that Shabana Mahmood used that term again in her speech in the House, where she said they will feel the full force of the law. We've heard that saying before coming out of the Labour government. Now, I want to be clear on something, Jack. I will not condone violence of any kind, and anyone that attacked police officers at the weekend were wrong. I believe there was provocation. I believe the police made mistakes. I believe that, and I do believe that it was a mistake actually, because there were a number of different police forces involved at the weekend, and I believe there was a breakdown in communication. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I want to believe. I don't want to believe that the police deliberately took some of our people into direct confrontation with the Stand Up to Racism mob, but that is what happened. But, you know, look, the bottom line is this, the stats don't lie. I did a short on this last night. If there was I believe there were only 9 arrests from our side. The total arrests, I believe, were 28, but the rest came from the other side. I believe there were only 9 arrests. Now, if there was 1 million people at that demonstration on Saturday, that rally, that means that there was only 1 arrest for every 55,000 people who attended. Those figures speak for themselves. That was a very, very peaceful and well-organised event. And if it had been organised by another group, who shall remain nameless, the media would have been all over it, describing it as an event of beauty and peace and everything else, that all the superlatives that go with it.
Exactly. Also, I think you said something about on one of your previous live streams about you potentially coming back to the UK, I think. What I'd say to you is if you come back to the UK, what I'd say to you is be careful when you get to Gatwick Airport, because we know what's happening in the UK at the minute. People left, right, centre, all airports across the country who have right-wing politics views are getting nicked at passport control and then let out whenever the police and that just fancy. Like, and, you know, because I'm planning to leave the UK in December, head off to the Netherlands on Eurostar. I'm hoping that whilst I'm at the Bank Station at Ticket Office, I don't get nicked by the Storm regime for whatever reason.
Well, they've always got our eyes on us. Jack, I'm going to thank you very much and move on. We've got Jason coming up next. Jack, you take care, my friend, and have a great week. Thank you. Jason, good afternoon, mate.
Hello, Paul. Good to meet you.
And you, brother. How are you doing? What's on your mind?
Well, I mean, I went down the weekend. I'm an amateur photographer,
Mhm.
so I went down. I wanted to get a feel for the, because there's a lot of opinions out there at the minute, isn't there? And
Before we go any further, can I ask you: are you a part of this movement, or are you neutral? Are you from the other side?
I'm neutral. I've always been like a centre, kind of to the right leaning kind of person.
Okay.
Conservative from American point of view, not from an English point of view, if you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to come down. I've followed Tommy Robinson's progress, infamy, however you want to frame it, for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And it's quite fascinating because at the very beginning, I didn't have any criticism really of him, at the very beginning. And now it's cemented so much that people are starting to look and research what he's actually done, So it's quite encouraging that this is allowing people to actually, rather than just going through that zombification of flicking through the phone, stopping, take a breath, calm down. We've got plenty of time. Go and research it, look it up. You've got to look it up. And it's everything, and that's going to take a long time as an individual. Individual.
Yeah.
But I went down. I was chatting to various people. Now, I got a bit concerned with the drinking. I know people are going to have fun. Families are going to have a beer or a wine, with the kids in the pub. That's not what I'm on about. There were some young guys, and they were up for it a bit, and they was a bit eager, and I was a bit concerned. I thought, shit, this is going to. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's not swearing these days. You're allowed.
So I was getting a bit apprehensive. I was thinking, I've come to this, with an open mind, while sort of leaning towards what people are thinking in general, And I'm thinking, shit, this could go off with the amount of people that are here. But it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. Sorry, can I carry on?
Jason, carry on. You the floor's all yours, my friend. No, go on.
So, like, I thought there's that many people here, and every so often I was going through like notifications and whatnot, and then you get in rumors and stories of it's kicking off and whatnot. It's not because they were going looking for it. Okay, maybe there was some elements, very minority.
Yeah,
but there was families there. Because
Jason, let me.
Yeah,
Jason, let me just say, I think when you've got, let's just say 500,000 people. Let's just, some people, I don't want to exaggerate. I believe there was best part of 1 million people there. But for those, anyone watching that wants to say that's a massive exaggeration, let's say it was 500,000, right? If you've got 500,000 people from any group, from anywhere in the world, from any walk of life, there is always going to be one or two nutters amongst that crowd. You can go to the theatre on a Saturday night where there is 2,500 people in the audience, and there will be the odd nutcase. So I think everyone's behaviour in the general end case scenario of the weekend was absolutely amazing.
I second that. Yeah, I second that. It was exemplary.
It was.
And I think it was the fact that you had people coming, not knowing where to go, plus the disruption from the transport system, buses, tube. So there was families and that trying to get to the event that couldn't get to the event, them getting mixed up with the people being pushed around the outside because there was that many. This is what I think. And it got out of control. Plus, the opposition had pushed through, and it wasn't a massive number.
Yeah.
And that's when they got kettled in because there was that many people from all directions coming in.
Yeah. Do you know what, Jason? My appeal. We got John up next, but Jason, my appeal to everyone is this: look. at the moment, there's a lot of talk about the left and the right. And when I grew up, and probably when you grew up as well, the left versus the right wasn't such a big thing. The difference wasn't so polarized. But these days, unfortunately, it is. I believe that it's no longer about left-leaning politics and right-leaning politics. This is about good versus evil. This is about people who want to destroy our way of life. And I'm not even talking, by the way, particularly about one particular religious group now. I'm talking about those people that generally look just like me and you, but actually hate this country from within for whatever reason. Now, my appeal to them would be this: stop your violence and let's talk. Stop
Absolutely.
Because if we don't talk, if we don't sit together at a table, if we can't come to an agreement, if we can't reach agreements peacefully, the end result is not going to end well for them, not for us, for them. It's not going to end well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you silence somebody, I mean, I'm not a free speech absolutist, because call to violence, you can't be, that's not, you know what I mean? So I'm not an absolutist.
Free speech comes at a cost, is my belief.
Exactly. So violence and worse shouldn't be accepted in this society. But being allowed to lambast, ridicule, whatever, fine. But people are not listening. They're just shouting generic terms at people.
Yeah. That's all, mate. Listen, Jason.
I can talk to you for hours, Paul.
That is all they have left. I would love to have you on for hours, mate. Unfortunately, I do have to move on because we do have others waiting.
Thanks for having me on.
Jason, pop on next time, mate. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Have a great week, brother. Thank you. John, good afternoon, my friend. How are you? Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, I can hear you. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you very well. How are you doing?
My internet's not so.
Yeah, the connection is not too good.
Thank you, sir. I know. I just said it pop in it and listen there.
Unfortunately, your internet connection is really poor. If you can pop back, that would be great. John Buck is next. John, how you doing, John?
Yeah, but
John, you're live. How you doing, mate?
Hello. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
To be totally honest with you,
family issues in the back. Oh, we're getting the internet gremlins in, unfortunately. John, we've lost you as well, my friend. You're more than welcome to pop back if you can. Let's have a little look. Paul in Brazil. Paul, good afternoon.
Hello, Paul. Good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
I'm very well. It's a good name, Paul, isn't it, Paul?
Of course. Very good. Anyway, Paul, you're brilliant.
Go on, brothers. Carry on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think you're brilliant, Paul. I've always watched you, okay? And I just want to let you know, because I've been in Brazil 15 years, okay? And I don't really want to come back. So I think you should stay where you are. I have a brilliant life here in Brazil. But I just want to say, my grandfather fought in 2 world wars, okay? He fought in the First World War at 19 and lost a leg, and fought in the Second World War. Yeah. And he survived both wars, So, I'm very, very, very proud of that. And on Saturday, I was watching everything on the television, I'm watching the London March, and I felt really proud. I knew there'd be about 3 million people there, So it was really, really good to see all the patriots. It's fantastic, Paul. All those flags. I mean, I walk around Brazil with my English umbrella, my English bag, everybody loves us here in Brazil. I have a great life here in Brazil, though, Paul. I pay the equivalent to £120 a month for my apartment. gas, water, electric included, you know, so that's really good, Paul. I have a really good life here. The weather's brilliant, you know, but you know, so I was really, really pleased to see all those people turn out on Saturday, and I hope it made an impact on the government, because this is just ridiculous what's going on. You know, I don't want to.
Paul, unfortunately, I don't think anything will have an effect on this government, because I think they're the biggest heartless bunch of people I've ever had the misfortune to come across. I just don't think they give a shit, mate.
Well, they don't. They don't give a shit, do they? Of course they don't. You know, you can see that. I mean, you know, that rain has gone. You know, I mean, I just don't understand why anybody in Parliament would leave school at 16, pregnant, not passing any of her GCSEs. You know, I just don't get it, Paul. You know, it's just really bad what's going on at the moment. And you know, I don't, like you say, I don't think anything's gonna do it. You know, the only thing is going to do it if somebody physically drags him out of Parliament by his hair. You know, that's the only thing that's going to do it.
Of his neck. That might be. That might end up being a young Ukrainian lad. We'll see.
Yeah, I know, but no, Paul, but you know, it's just really bad what's going on at the moment. You know, these far left bloody idiots. You know, it's just ridiculous, Paul. What's going on? It's just unbelievable. You just wouldn't write about it years ago. You know, you know, and people getting arrested for Facebook posts and that. And you know, what annoys me about the police, though, Paul, I think the police don't understand that one day they're going to ask to be convert to Muslim. It looks like some of the police are Muslims. You understand this? You know, and you know, I think there'll be a day when the police are told either you convert to Muslim or go. You know, it's a bit like no jab, no job. You know, it's going to be the same thing. But you know, like I say, Paul, I just think they're soaring on the branch on which they are sitting. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
You know, I just think it's you know, the way they're treating people. You know, you could see them in front of the English people with their batons held high, threatening. You know, full riot gear. You know, it's just ridiculous, Paul. You know, I just think it's really bad. And I'm just not going back to England. I'm staying here in Brazil. I've not been back to England for 15 years. You know, and I don't want to. You know, and like you say, if you go back, Paul, you're going to get stopped at the airport. It's just such an inconvenience. You know, that's all it is.
Well, I'm not worried about, Paul. I'm not worried about being stopped. I'm worried about what they might fabricate even further. But it is the position, Paul. I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest with you. You know, look. Life here in Spain is very nice. It's very enjoyable, but it's not my home. I love my home. And
that's right, Paul. Yes.
I said it a little while ago. You know, I need to go to my grave knowing that I've done my best in whichever way that I could do it. And unfortunately, right now, to do that safely, I have to be out of the country. But one day, hopefully before too long, I can return home and we can get on with our lives in the way in which we grew up.
Yeah.
In safety,
that's right. I mean,
in peace and in harmony.
That's right, Paul. I mean, safety is paramount. It was. You understand? You know, but you know, why do we have security at airports, Paul? Is that only just to stop English people and harass them? You know, there's no point in security at airports only for that reason.
Exactly.
You know, do you know what I mean, Paul?
I do.
You know, it's just beyond me. You know, it's just getting really, really bad. You know, and it's the police are the problem. You know, they're the only backbone that they have for them. You know, if the police, I mean, in Brazil, the police are on the side of the people. They will never beat the people. They'll never shoot and beat them. Do you understand, Paul? And you know, you got like Just Stop Oil, all these idiots. You know, I mean, they wouldn't last 2 minutes here. A minute. They wouldn't last a minute. People just drive over them, Paul. You know, I don't see why people are so soft and putting up with this crap. You know, but
at the end of the day, no one should ever resort to violence. But here's the thing.
Of course.
Here's the thing, right? It's at the end of the day, I have no problem with other people having opposing views to mine. The only time I have a problem with them is when they either want to, or is when they try to force them upon me using violence. And
Well,
that is
yeah,
where we must draw the line. Paul, I've got to move on, my friend. Thank you so much for
Okay then,
coming
mate.
on. I really appreciate it.
You're
have a
very
great
welcome,
week,
mate.
and you stay safe
And
out
you,
there.
mate.
All the best. That is Paul from Brazil. I want to try and get through some of the chat as well. Sylvia's son, thank you. Stop leftist hate. I'm Spartacus. I'm far right. And Jamie, hello, Jamie, brother. How you doing? Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Jay is a new member. Great live stream this afternoon. A little bit, a lot of people saying that guy was on a wind up, and look, obviously, I know he was using a fake voice, but obviously that was his point. He wanted to have a little pop. He wanted to have his say, and I'm happy to let him have it. I don't fear. There are going to be people out there that are a lot more clever than I am and will be able to debate in a far better way, but I will always do my best. I'm not going to shy away from a debate. Craig, good afternoon, mate.
Hello, hang on. Oh, how you doing, Paul?
I'm very well, Craig. What's on your mind, mate?
Nothing. I just thought I'd come in and say you're brilliant, Paul.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, Craig. Thank you so
I'm
much.
actually from Brighton myself. I've been trying to bump into you for flaming couple of years now, and I've never been able to bump into you.
Oh, well, that's probably good because you might be disappointed when you do.
I know. I actually live in New Haven myself.
Oh, okay. So an area that I know very, very well.
Yes.
Yeah. I miss seeing my friends in New Haven, a very solid working class area, and proud of the people down there. And I definitely miss it, mate. Did you go at the weekend?
No, I didn't, and sadly not.
You've obviously caught up with it on the internet. What did you make
I've been
of it?
watching what's his name? AY audits and DP audits.
Yeah.
You heard of them?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've been watching them a lot. They've been going to a lot of protests, hotels, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think all the auditors have a role to play. I think that, the only time that I would say that I think they should be careful of is if there is a time when, well, probably not. Look, if it's happening, it deserves to be filmed and to be reported. The only time I would go against any of that is if anyone was glorifying the problems, but I don't see anyone doing that right now. Thank goodness. We don't want to, incite anyone else to be going along and joining in any problems. That's for sure. What's the weather like in New Haven today?
Wouldn't know. I don't go out.
Oh, you don't go out. You're stuck indoors, are you?
Yeah, unfortunately. My other half's never well, so I have to constantly look after her.
So you're housebound. Are you housebound?
She is, but I'm not.
Okay. So the internet is, a lifeline for a lot of people, isn't it?
Well, I personally think a lot of people are going to cut their internet services soon, to be honest with you, with what's going on.
So that you can't watch and you can't see?
No, it's because of all these new rules and stuff like that. Starmer and Peter Carter chucking out.
Yeah. Nothing would surprise me with this individual. The only issue or the only warning, the old issue about Keir Starmer is everyone wants him gone.
Too right.
But the problem is who replaces him. Well, that would be nice, but I'm talking about who replaces him as Prime Minister. If they kick him out, if internally they remove Keir Starmer, who are they going to replace him with? Because remember, they're answerable to the unions, and the unions want someone on the hard left. Yeah. So that could be, it could be a case right now, better the devil than than the devil you don't. But it's hard to imagine someone that could be worse than Starmer, but there probably is people out there that would be. Right. Craig, I'm going to have to let you go, brother, because I am going to wrap this show up. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I really appreciate it. You've been an absolute superstar for coming on, as has everyone that has been on. Lots and lots and lots of great people in the chat. Sylvia's son, last super chat of the day. Thank you, Paul. I've always been centre, but if Our victims are being blamed and vilified are far right for sharing that hell, then so am I. I think that's the way that most of us feel. We're all basically centrists in general. But we will be back soon with another live and more videos, of course. I'll be honest with you, it's been hard to come up with videos to make in some respects, because when you look at what's been going on, you keep saying the same thing time and time and time and time again. And I just think that right now, it's important to interact with the viewers, to give them the chance, to give you guys the chance to get things off your chest, so that you don't feel your frustration boiling over, and that you know that you're not alone. So let's have a look. We've been on air for just over an hour. We've currently got 1,263 people watching. Before you go, I'd really appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't done already, please do subscribe. At the end of this video, I will be making the live stream private, but I will then be re-uploading it as a normal video. So if you want to watch the replay, that will be the place to watch it. For now, that's it. Take care of yourselves. God bless you all. And as always, look after those beautiful children. We'll see you soon.